Okay.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for the wait and for the blank stars. I'm getting there. I apologize. Got some randomness going on that we won't talk about on stream. We're going to do some fun stuff today. We're going to do clothing studies for 1950s for the Owl House fam because reasons. By the way, okay, so this is super random. Wait. Do you want to know stuff that would technically end up being spoilers?
No, I like.
I know you do.
Like.
So this is directed at Katie. Because I know you and Farrell were just like, give it.
Them. I am in a drive-through, but go for it.
Basically, I was just going to say, for at random, Osrin is like a really pretty person in this. Of all people, Osrin is. Because he's Indian, okay? And you don't see him for a very long time in the AU, actually. But he just looks, like, fantastic. Because, like, he's got the dripping in gold thing going for him. We'll put it that way. It's funny too because like he's not like the crouching old man that you kind of like picture when you think of him maybe in a human AU perhaps. He's definitely older, but like yeah, I might end up drawing him as well. Whenever I get around to doing the stuff that I need to do. It's a live stram. It's a stram. It's not a stream, guys. It's a stram.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay. Hopefully I'm done with all that now. Goodbye.
I'm excited for this food.
The answer is yes. I do not know if you're listening in right now, Calamity. I hope so. I'm sure you're not actually. I do intend to draw them. I do. Absolutely do. What am I doing? Oh, I'm not on the right thing, that's why.
No clue what you're doing.
I know. I don't even know what I'm doing. What the fuck? Anyway. Ow! Okay. 1950s clothing.
Pottery?
Look, I feel like you can't like blame me for that.
What happened?
It is like 10 lines max. I'm sorry that I didn't know what it was.
I mean, I understand, kid. I'm not like I'm definitely not angry, but that was hilarious.
What's going on?
It's a woman.
Okay.
It's a woman in a 1950s dress, okay?
The differences between what time period did you say?
Was that 1950s?
A 1950s woman in pottery is detail.
Yes, and I haven't gotten to the detail part yet.
Did you say pottery?
He thought it was pottery.
Oh my god. No wonder you're laughing so hard.
Right?
Is that pottery?
Drawing pottery, Mom? No!
Oh god, I love that.
I completely. There's no head on it. I understand that I don't have boobs on there.
No head, but there's a neck.
Yes.
And so it looks like you were.
Oh, hang on, my mother's calling.
Yes, I understand, dear. I understand now.
It
It's
looks
just funny.
ceramic as fuck, bro.
She do look ceramic as fuck right now.
That's great. I fucking love that.
Right?
Let's start with the fellas, because I'm starting with Faust, because of course I am. I know that the pants were different as far as like pantsuit type things go.
Let me look up 1950s men's fashion.
Like there's a very specific way that the pants were like cut.
Well, a lot of our pants, well, the thing is like slacks had kind of a fairly specific thing. They actually sat up a man's like near
natural
to,
waist,
or
right?
actually at a man's natural waist. So like the jokes about like the grandpa pants.
Yeah, it's just because that's where they sat at that time, so that's where they were used to wearing them.
Yeah. Men's suits were hilariously unfit. Like loose, loose in the arms. What we would probably consider very loose in the waist because they weren't intended. Like, okay, so here's an actual like fashion plate of men in suits. So like actual fucking, this is a fashion plate. So this was fashionable
at that time.
Really think about the fact of how much garbage that looks to us.
Did you send that to me?
I sent it in Talkin' Artin, but I can send it to you.
My thing didn't ping. Well, I'm gonna look anyway, but okay. Yeah, like in today's world, that would be like, what the hell are you wearing?
That in today's day and age, in our current suiting, that is a ridiculously poorly fit. It's too long in the waist, it's too long in the coat. It's completely unfit in the torso. The sleeves are too big and honestly probably a little too long. The shoulders are way wider than you would ever want your suit, because it very obviously comes off of your shoulder. Like, you've got shoulder pads are what's holding the end of your or what's squaring your suit, as opposed to your actual shoulder. So the suit actually hangs off the outside edge of a shoulder pad rather than on your arm. It is crazy, and this is a fashion plate. That means that is what people were looking to look like.
Right.
It is just wild to me. And then some of the vests that they would wear are so funny.
I need that too, actually, because Faust almost always wears the vest.
Okay, so these I don't suspect that he would be wearing a knit vest.
Oh no! Oh, that's not even what I thought you were talking about.
no, this is a proper vest, but it's knit.
Oh God, no!
One
he wouldn't wear that.
Obvious than the other, but those are knit vests.
Fuck no! Never mind.
But they're knit.
No.
And then here is a pattern.
No fucking knit there. No.
Yeah.
No knit things for this man. He's too big for that.
Well, I mean, technically, not that he's too big for it. It's just that I just don't see Faust as being somebody who would tolerate a knit vest.
No, absolutely not. Well, especially because, I'm sure, being a knit vest, it's a lot easier to, like, snag shit, and you're gonna fuck it up a little easier than you would a regular vest.
I mean, if it's made correctly, no.
I'll take your word for it.
But I mean, a little bit, yeah.
It's gonna sound totally probably uneducated of me, but were fedoras an actual thing back then, or is that just like some dumbass representation in movies?
Let me pull out some. See, the thing is it wasn't so much so fedoras specifically, as it was like a gentleman wore a hat.
Okay.
Gentlemen outside, if you were a gentleman and you were outside, you probably had a hat on. Especially if you were going somewhere. But a lot of, like, okay, here's some actual factual men. Like, if you were an adult man. If you were a young man, you might go outside without a hat on. If you were an adult man, you wouldn't be caught outside without your hat.
Gotcha.
And the styles of hats were... There's several styles of hat. Here is...
I love your giggling. Like... I love the amount of giggle you've got going on.
Here's probably a guy who is the best dressed, according to my current sensibilities, any of the men that I have seen in a 1950s fashion anything. He's still got the oversized shoulders, but you can also see like between him and the guy and like the lapel sizes were kind of like wild variants. Like so this last one that I posted was a young man
Huge lapels there.
Who was wearing a very different style. So guys up above that were on the 1950s fashion plate, those were like slick businessmen. Those were your serious men folk. Whereas this guy down below, actually, that I just posted, he's actually got slimmer pants. His suit is cut more narrowly, and he's still got those huge wide sleeves up at the top, but it's a little bit more tapered to his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, the biggest thing that points to me that this guy was a young, like, he was making his own choices is the lapel size. Look at how fucking wide his goddamn lapels are.
I see that, yeah.
He's making a statement.
Exactly.
He's making a statement. Also, I might also add,
I did not realize we'd lost Katie.
His jacket length is way shorter. Now that might be because he is in fact kind of a short-ish guy.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, he's not a super tall dude, but that is high on his thigh for that time period.
What was the tallest heels that ladies wore back then? 3 inches?
Oh no.
Did they really have taller? Did they have like 5 inches and stuff?
Probably the tallest would have been 4 or 5 inch. But you could find stiletto heel. I'm pretty sure 1950s stiletto heels are totally a thing. Existed.
Somewhere between 4 and 5 then, though. In other words, I'm mapping out their heights here. And Tara's is going to be very misrepresented because she's always in heels.
Yeah.
And technically these aren't even 100% accurate, but like they're accurate enough because it's not like men's heels were like egregious or anything. But they're not 100% accurate simply because, everyone's wearing shoes. But hers is absolutely wrong because she's got at least 4 inches, if that's something that's fairly normal for the 1950s.
4 inches was these are all probably 3.5 plus.
Mm-hmm.
The blue one on the
I had the room in the car in front of me left.
Okay. That will be $20.95. She has the Reuben meal. The person in front of her drove off.
But fairly fucking high heels.
Sorry, we're very short-handed.
No, you're okay, hon.
Are actually quite common.
Good.
Because heels made you look like your legs were slimmer.
Right.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
you wanted your legs to look slim. So, like, you see a lot of, like, 1950s girls' shoes had, like, chunky heels.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But women's shoes were stilettos for the most
You
part.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, I don't know if this is just a thing that people are sort of like joking about, or if it was actually a thing. But if it's actually like a thing where like people just tended to be shorter at that point, Faust is a fucking monster.
Faust would have been like freak show level monster.
Like, he's 6'7".
He would have been massively. Like here's another really good.
Like I think Bump probably would have had a lot going for him because he was 6 feet tall.
He would have been considered a very tall man. There's some fucking stilettos, babe.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely. Oh, I like
There's
those
some
bottom
very
ones.
stilettos.
I absolutely love those bottom ones.
They're crazy looking fucking stilettos. Like, tell me you don't feel like if you stepped in those, that thing would fucking snap. Because it narrows in the middle, and that makes me so uncomfortable.
See, I was always really uncomfortable with stilettos, because,
As someone who broke a heel, no thank you.
Yeah, because
Right?
I always couldn't understand how they didn't break. And, of course I was always wondering, like, is it because it's always the really slim, like, super lightweight ladies who are wearing them? Theoretically, they're not supposed to ever really break, no matter, what weight scale you're on, because they're supposed to be a solid steel bar, from what I understand.
Depends on the shoe. Depends on the brand.
Exactly.
Because it is very, very, very common for the heel to be wood.
Oh God.
It
Not
is
these
very
days, I
common.
don't think, right? Or
nowadays they are composite. They're usually a composite of plastic and or reinforced metal. But honestly, most of the time they are essentially shoe sole. And old timey, like those shoes that you're seeing right there, most likely that would have been wood.
God.
Can you imagine fucking walking around on a fucking chopstick?
No.
No.
Essentially.
God.
Like, that just terrifies me. Like, because you step even a little bit wrong on that heel, you put any weight on that heel, with a little bit of torque on it, and that motherfucker's snapping.
No.
Because you have to remember,
Why did they
metal,
think that was a good fucking idea?
I like
metal,
aim my insoles intact, thank you.
Metal wasn't common. Like, they just didn't do metal.
metal still isn't common in shoes. Metal is actually, like, usually only a reinforcement situation, and most of the time you don't get much metal in shoes. So, like, most of the time, the only metal that would have been in that shoe is the nails that tack the heel to the actual body of the shoe.
God. No. Just no.
I've actually watched somebody make vintage shoes before. There's
That sounds
it's
just
it's
nerve-wracking.
a wooden blank.
That's nerve-wracking as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. That is.
You're right there?
I've had better days.
Oh.
Kind of noticed.
Everyone's just kind of had one heck of a day. Mine ended up being a false alarm, thank God. I was gonna be mad. I was gonna be so mad. You have no idea.
Yeah, no, my waitress book just fell and my stuff is all over now, so I'll fix that when I get to the rest.
Okay, so here's a funny one. The party trying to explain what they're doing to the good guys. The last competition ended in 15 separate funerals. I'm aware, but I only caused 9 of them. Reminds me very distinctly of of one of my favorite D&D comments. Hey, where'd you get all that stuff? Oh, we picked it up off the bodies we made.
Lol.
The bodies we made.
The bodies we made.
Did I really
Didn't even try to hide it.
Did I really make him that fucking long-legged? I feel like I gotta pull up that picture of Bum, because I really don't think that I made him that long-legged, but he is fairly long-legged here.
You know what gets me?
What?
I just stopped at Arby's. Of course I did, because I have a problem. But, I'm clearly, like, super exhausted, and I was hangry, and I'm tired, and I'm just like, and I was still somehow more pleasant than the asshole in front of me who just, like, sped off.
Right?
Lovely.
Yeah, I caught that the guy in front of you fucking sped off for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, no, if they had waited 45 more seconds, they would have gotten their food. Like,
They
literally,
given
as
that
soon
to
as they
you for
drove
free.
off, the person in front of me was done. But I literally, and then she's like trying to apologize to me. She's like, "I'm so sorry, we're so short-staffed." I'm like, "Honey, you are fine." I'm like, "I'm not gonna yell at you because you don't have people. None of us do."
Right?
Right? Literally ain't nobody do. Like, that guy's just an ass.
Exactly. We didn't even really wait that long. I think I was there for like Like, okay, yeah, 10 minutes is a little bit long for a drive-through line, but I've waited longer.
Dude, 10 minutes is average around here. Our drive-through places are kind of garbage, to be completely honest.
That's fair. No, I went to Taco Bell at like 3 a.m. one night where I'm pretty sure that there was like 2 people in the whole store. If that, it might have just been the one person doing everything. And I think I was in the drive-thru for like 45 minutes waiting for my food. I didn't care. Like, if I didn't have time to be here, I wouldn't be here.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
What?
Just heard a cat puke.
Damn it.
Man. Just heard old man puke somewhere in the house.
Then you get to play the where did they throw up game.
I mean, luckily, since I can hear him, that means he's down in the basement, which means I can just mop it up because it's all fucking cement down here. But, not fun.
Yeah.
No.
See, this is why I want to
My
pull up the
favorite?
carpet in my fucking bedroom, because I am so tired of it.
Oh, at some point when I have the money, my entire house is becoming hardwood. Fucking
Right?
carpet is going to die, with the exception of the stairs. The stairs can keep the carpet because I hate non-carpeted stairs. But other than that, the rest of the fucking house is getting hardwood.
Agreed.
I feel that so hard. I am such a clumsy person. Like, it's just not feasible for me to have carpet throughout my house because I am so fucking klutzy that it just doesn't fucking work.
It's just easier to clean hardwood too. Like, carpet gets so gross, especially when you have animals because it picks up all the hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's so funny. Donna's like, "Why would you have carpet through your hat? What the?" Her and Cookie
That
too.
is common here, Donna.
Yeah, like
so
her
common.
and Cookie could be.
Zone height, sir.
Stussy from one. Okay, well that's an interesting one. To be fair, she don't work for the government, but I see. I catch what you're drifting there. Y'all can't see it. It's Farrell. Farrell said something.
I have 45 minutes.
I need to figure out what the fuck Tara's doing with her arms. I have no idea what she's doing with her arms right now. Also, just for the reference with her fucking heels, okay? With how with how tall she is with the heels. Right? She would actually be like this tall. She is 5'5". Bump is 6 feet tall. Faust is 6'7". Like, she is so short compared to them. Although for back then, she's probably fairly tall for a lady, huh?
How tall did you say she was?
She is 5'5" without her heels.
She's above average.
Humans be like, let us grow taller.
Let's grow taller.
Alright, I'm gonna
Also, I
take this
just love
shirt
the
off.
dynamic. I mean, you don't get to see it much, at least not at first, since, Faust is retired, but, like, I love the dynamic between Faust and Bump.
Because they're just like, they're tight. They're good friends. I see you, Farrell. I see you. Because that's the thing, they started on the force around the same time. And, they, of course, were the odd ones out, so they ended up, gravitating towards each other. And it's funny, like, when Faust was still the chief, when he made it to chief, right, which is just amazing all on its own that he got to that point, considering the times. And,
Maybe.
of course, he was going to keep Bump, like, at his side at that point, right?
Yeah.
But, like... They were like really good friends, and despite the fact that when they got like higher up in the rank and stuff like that, despite the fact that obviously they had to like portray a more professional demeanor between the two, like you could tell like they're bros. They bros. They tight. And then of course you got people like Philip who's like, oh, it's just your lackey. Like that's literally his thought. Like he thinks nothing in particular. Like he really doesn't like Bump, quite frankly. Like he didn't like either of them, honestly. But like he's very, like he's forced to respect Faust because let's be real, Faust is 7 inches taller than he is. Like, or maybe 5. Like Philip might be, like Philip's not shorter than Bump, but I don't know if he's the exact same height as Bump. Regardless, like Faust is a much larger, much taller man than he is. So even if he can't respect, even if he doesn't want to respect his rank, he does have to show respect because this man will body him. So like this man can snap him in half. So he has to at least be polite, right? With Bump, he doesn't have to be that, because Bump's just like a regular guy. Aside from being taller than average, he's just a regular guy who also isn't like 100% white. So hold on, I have to save my work because I didn't save. Because of course I didn't.
Okay, so I have... My vase is now a people. It still looks vaguely vase-like, so... I'm gonna send you a picture of my vase.
Okay.
Or I guess in this case, maybe somebody else's vase.
Okay. Oh, I still love that so much. That was fucking funny.
Okay. That was.
I'm gonna answer a thing real quick.
I did, I tell you what. Kids just kill me. I hope this is actually visible because I have to do this on my fucking phone. I guess I could take a fucking... I guess I could actually try to do this with the scanner, but... do not feel like dealing with my scanner right now.
Don't worry about that.
Let's forgive the fact that it is super light because it's just a sketch. Also, please ignore the terrible anatomy. I'm bad at anatomy. It's fashion. It's fashion. It's fashion. Look at the picture. Look at the clothes. Look at the clothes. Look at the clothes.
Just look at the clothes. Just only look at the clothes.
Now, I based it off of 2 dresses that I saw.
Is that going like up under the bust?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you the 2. I drew the waist. I drew the waist too high and her hips too low. But I'm once again I am not the person that you go to because you want accurate drawings of people's. Okay, I essentially wanted to do the skirt off of this, and if I can find the other one, this was a very peculiar but like notably 1950s top I really liked. So obviously the orange dress and then the pink dress down below. So the orange dress, how she's got the extra space in her hips from those 2 pleats, 2 tucks right there in the front. And then the kind of thing is the other top, you pull that up and look at how that is structured.
Hi.
The 2 pleats that we see in...
Wait, which one are we looking at? The top picture or the bottom one?
In the top picture,
okay, sorry.
The skirt, the orange skirt.
Okay.
The top picture. So if you look at where those 2 pleats are,
Okay.
The pink dress in the other one has an A line, has two seam lines that would line up pretty much exactly with where
Oh,
those
I see.
two tucks are.
I
So
see.
you could take that top part of that dress and put that bottom dress on it and make a really classy, fucking slick as fuck dress.
So the top part.
The pink one for the second picture.
Uh-huh.
And you can, like I said, you can see where she's got two
Yeah.
seam lines. Because honestly, they've got it a little bit snug on her, so there's actually
It's really snug on her, I feel like. Except, well, I mean, the blue one's
very
worse,
snug
but...
on her. And they've actually got some puckers in the dress because they didn't fit it to her correctly. But that right there lines up really nicely with those two tucks in that skirt on the orange one. And I just thought that neckline it just felt very Terra to me.
Yeah.
And then I liked the idea that it was a single dress
Versus a two-piece, yeah.
versus a top and a skirt. Because I mean, actually, that Vicky Vaughan one is a single piece. It is a one piece, and so is the orange one. But the having the belt, they did a lot of belts, but they didn't always do belts.
Do you mean
So-
the belt on the white one, I guess, or?
That, like, all kinds of belts, because like if you look at the orange one, it has a waistband.
Oh, I didn't even see
and
that.
The pink
Okay.
one from that top, all three from the top one have like noted waistbands, and then only the blue one on the bottom group actually doesn't have some sort of waistband belt. It's just the pink one's belt is up under bust.
Got you.
They really did. They liked those belts. They liked to belt stuff.
I
Like waistbands and belts, and they liked those things.
I don't blame them. I find it pretty cool too.
Yeah, but I thought that silhouette was was in my brain. It just came out really, really nicely. And actually, I'm not particularly unpleased with the drawing that I did. It just, please ignore the arms. Please ignore the arms. Please ignore how the legs just fade off into nothing. Please just ignore how there's no face. Please look at my vase.
The vase. The only thing that I don't like about the top on the pink one is the sleeves, the sleeve length. That's just.
I actually lengthened those.
I
because
see that
didn't
you did that. Yeah.
I didn't like the cap sleeve. I thought she would be at least 3/4, if
At
not
least
full length.
Yeah. She to me anyway, she would
they
prefer full
liked-
length, but likely she would, if she couldn't have full length for whatever reason, which she would probably find some way to make it happen, whether she goes to a seamstress or whatever.
Yeah.
But she would take the 3/4 if she couldn't get a full.
Essentially, the thing is 1950s full-length sleeves. That's a suit. Period. Like, full-length sleeves is a suit. Almost 100% of the time.
Like on women,
if
it's
you
considered a
weren't-
suit. Like,
Pretty much, like, it had to be the only thing you will see full-length sleeves on is jackets, coats, suits. Is very, very rare for you to see a 1950s dress had longer than 3/4 length sleeves that wasn't jacket. That, like, blouses just didn't come with full-length sleeves on them 99.9% of the time.
so she'd have 3/4 then.
It would. I mean, honestly, the type of clothes that she probably would have felt comfortable. Like even some of the suit jackets and the jackets were 3/4 length. Like she could probably get somebody to put it down past her elbow, like to mid forearm, but like almost nothing had full length sleeves on it in the 1950s. If you were wearing women's clothes and you weren't wearing a coat, your sleeve came down to your forearm at the longest. Yeah, it's just kind of the way those clothes were made. Now, on the other hand, she could have either gone to a seamstress or done it herself, but most of the time, if you were going to purchase something, you weren't going to be wearing a jacket with it. Or I should say, and you could wear a jacket with it. It was 3/4 length or shorter.
So, like, even, like, women's jackets, you're saying, like, probably didn't have full-length sleeves or anything? It had to be, like, a coat?
Like, any blazers, oh my gosh, this is almost the dress that I just drew you!
Ah.
Holy shit!
Good.
I knew that was a thing! Ha! That's great. I'm gonna send this one now. It's got the same neckline, but it's got a different sleeve shape, which would probably work better for the longer sleeves anyways. But yeah, that is pretty fucking close to what I drew. But yeah, like in the 1950s, women's jacket, like button-down jackets, you could find some that went down to the wrist, but they were winter coats.
Oh wow, that's really
they
pretty.
were formal suits and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
here's a high fashion suit. It's a Dior. I can't ever say that. Dior. Yeah, there we go. I can't ever say that right the first time. It's Dior.
Wee bit, yeah. Sorry, talking to Farrell on that one. I see what you're getting at.
You could find full-length stuff, but that was for your coat for the most part.
Yes, Donna, that was also Cynthia. Someone asked if I had planned to draw Darius, Alador, and Lex together, because I hadn't drawn a picture of the three of them together yet. The only thing I have is that thank you picture where you can't really see all of them or anything. They're just sort of like they're all doing the cheers, you know. And so I was answering an ask on that one and sending in those sketches. I didn't put Cynthia in there because it was about Lex. So, but yes, that's why I had them pulled up. You are correct. So yeah, probably gonna go with the picture that you just sent. That looks an awful lot like the picture you drew. But yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
What I really love is that was actually a fairly popular skirt shape. So there's actually for the narrow skirts, that was actually fairly common and frequently with pockets,
which is fan-fucking-tastic.
So what? And because part of the reason for that is because it specifically got extra space in the hips, so they could anchor the pockets up up into the fitted area of the torso, and then you could where the tucks or the pleats were, you would have little pockets hidden away in there, and you could tuck your hands in your pockets. Or some of them.
Also, disclaimer: every single, all three of them are smoking. Everyone fucking smoked back then, and get over it.
That.
That's just a favorite pastime that everybody had at that point. Okay.
There was a specific campaign to make that a thing, so don't at us with your they shouldn't be smoking, because they absolutely would have been smoking.
Literally everyone smoked. Even the kids smoked, okay?
Everyone fucking smoked.
Like, my mom was born in 1954, I think, and she was smoking at 12. And her mom probably was smoking at 12 too. It was a thing.
It was not just a thing. There was actually a concerted effort to get people to smoke.
Yes, there was.
Because and claiming, 5 out of 10 4 out of 5 doctors agree Pall Mall or whatever. I don't know fucking cigarette
Marlboro is one of the oldest ones. And
Marlboro, good for your health. Yeah, helps your lungs. Like, frequently things like that, like, helps your lungs. Like, what the shit?
Just
You are putting smoke in your fucking lungs.
bullshit.
And they're like, this is good for your lungs. This is another really gorgeous, like, if she had to wear a poofy dress, I can totally imagine her wearing this one. You know me, I'm over here slinging all the different, like, I imagine that she would have sleeves added to it, but that is absolutely something I can imagine her wearing.
You know what? I just realized that this even more lends me to feeling like she's my grandmother.
Right?
Because it's not like my... Sometimes she was full of shit. I say sometimes as if she wasn't actually constantly full of shit. But there was elements of truth, probably more than people realized, to the things that she went on about. And she worked with the mob, yo. Like, she fucking did. And, like, she had a, quote, friend who had really nice rings and watches. And I say this because this is what my mom remembers of the guy. Who came over and was really nice to mom and her and her sisters, and was really nice to grandma, and like so on and so forth. Like there's more to that. I'm not gonna say any more than that. But the point is like, yeah, no, grandma, because she worked in Las Vegas as well. Like she worked at one of the casinos.
Oh,
like
yeah, like
she was in there. She was in with them. I don't know what the fuck she did. I don't need to know. But like where she got, like, and that's another thing to keep in mind too. She had really nice things. She had a lot of real jewelry and like a lot of real jewelry and nice clothes and so on and so forth. Like yes. Whether she added sleeves or not, I could definitely see her wearing that. What did you say? I'm sorry.
I was like, tell me, Grandma, how did you get those things? Oh, wait, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I don't need to know. I don't know anything. Thank you. This is probably also why, like, it was natural for, like, them. I say them, like, specifically her, to, like, whatever kind of conversation you have just sort of stays with you. So, like, that's, like, probably why she got like really mad at one point when I like told part of a conversation which wasn't really all that important, although it was things that probably like you shouldn't be saying to someone of my age at that time, and therefore like if you don't want it repeated, maybe don't say these things to a child. But the point is like just certain things, like the reason for those behaviors is very clear with like the way that things were back then.
Yeah.
But anyway,
kind of sort of obvious.
Yeah. But yes, I absolutely love that dress too, and I could see her wearing that one without sleeves because it's really just is pretty nice.
Yeah.
And I could see her wearing some A-line skirts and stuff as well, especially if she's wearing two pieces, but generally speaking, like, she's definitely one of the slim cut ladies.
Yeah.
I'm still just giggling at how fucking... It's just so funny to me how technically she would be above average in height for that time, but she's still so short compared to these two. Like, basically, they're the tall kids. Like, they are the tall kids. She's as tall as the regular Joes. She's looking them in the eye with her heels on,
Yeah. Alright. I will stop flooding about the clothes.
Really appreciate it.
Sadly, what I kind of see is that Bump would almost assuredly have one of those really ill-fitting suits.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And then I see Faust as just kind of not liking the extra weight of having the oversized suit, and Faust being like, ain't nobody gonna fucking, who's gonna fucking come at me? I mean, look at how fucking big I am. I want my suit cut a little tighter.
He's got it. See, the thing is too, is he's so big anyway. He probably has to like have his stuff specially tailored no matter what. So like, plus it also saves money. You know, less material to
Less
have
fabric.
it tailored.
Less fabric is less money.
Yep, exactly. Man, it's just fucking funny. Sorry. Like,
oh, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm right there with you, babe.
Okay, I need more. I need to go back to what you sent for the gentlemen's since I'm starting with them.
Okie dokie.
There's not really good shots of just their slacks, but oh wait, in the vest picture, I guess there is.
Yeah, part of the problem with the slack situation is it's genuinely kind of hard to find pictures of just dudes with slacks in the 1950s.
You know what's funny? I really wanted to, I was going to, and I completely forgot, but I was going to look up stuff for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because you see some good shots of what's-his-face without his suit jacket on.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things you also have to remember is they did wear suspenders almost exclusively.
Oh, yeah. Nope, yep. Mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can
Oh,
find
I have
some
that profile wrong.
images of the 1950s men's slacks. See, because, like, God, the cuts of these things are just so gross. They're just so gross.
And of course, I'm sitting here thinking that I'm drawing this wrong because I'm throwing out the shoulder pads, you know.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just like
no, the shoulder pads, like seriously, like the shoulder pads went all the way to the edge of their shoulder. They tried to square their shoulder. So here is a pattern guide of men's pants.
Oh God.
And it's so bad. So ugly. They're just so gross. Like, it's fine in the front. It's fine in the front. But the butt.
Oh God. Why do they have droopy butts?
Well, it's because they wear their pants at their natural waist.
I know, but
So
why is the
their
butt
pants are all the way up at the bottom of their rib. So they need longer seats.
God.
Well, and of course you don't want to rip your seat out, so they've got like fucking gussets in their goddamn seats.
That hurts my brain.
And so it makes it so that like the pants, like there's a distinct butt in the pants. Not all of the pants, and then like here are some real special 1950s pants. These are some special rubbish. These are very. These are a little bit. These are a little bit. I would say these are more.
That's okay. So that's what I was remembering. Because I had seen
looser.
Yeah.
Looser in the legs and the butt. So they're not going to have quite that distinct butt. The first one is for. Did you notice that the first one I sent of those, the dude's got a cigarette in his hand?
Oh, yes, of course.
And the second one, I think the dude's got a cigarette in his hand too.
He's got a pipe.
He's got a fucking pipe.
It's a pipe.
It's a pipe. It's a pipe.
Remember the whole like they enforced smoking like it was law? Yeah, no, everybody fucking smoked, man. Like.
Well, and like, okay, so the nice thing about the second one is it shows you that they actually had like men's pants nowadays usually have those couple little tucks in the front. They've got a couple little small pleats. These were sizable pleats that they would put in these pants. Then the part that really gets to me about that is like they didn't even show you the back end on this one, but there is so much fucking fabric in these pants.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it narrows down to, like, a normal human-ish ant leg at the bottom.
Right, but like otherwise it's just like so floofy. Like, why is there so much there?
So much goddamn space. Like, you could hide a fucking dump truck ass in those, and nobody would ever. No one would be any the wiser.
Dahlia.
What?
She said hi to dump truck ass. I said Odalia.
Yes.
Hide no Dahlia in there.
Dahlia's whole ass will fit in there.
I mean, the thing is some like, this is the time at which, like, the everyman wore these huge suits, you know, these pants with lots of extra leg. The more casual your outfit, the more extra space you had in your leg. Whereas, like, I found specifically a Vogue pattern that genuinely, it is cut like it's cut like a long in the seat nowadays pair of slacks. It is Walmart levels slim cut.
I think I'm doing these buttons wrong. Hold on. I'm trying to look at like the younger dude's suit because, you know, it's more tailored.
The younger dude's suit definitely
that's definitely like sort of the fit that Faust would end up having because of just his situation in general, and I'm having a problem getting this right.
He's got a double-breasted suit coat on, which Faust would require.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would fucking require double-breasted for sure.
And that goes low, man. Like, he's got that thing going.
Oh yeah, no,
really
they
low.
had their
And I think these buttons are fake. You know what I mean? Like those buttons up, like that would be up on his, like, well, not that they're fake buttons, but I mean they don't line up with anything. There's no buttonhole that those go through. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Actually, there is. The top one doesn't have one, but the second one does.
So the second one does.
The second one actually, there is actually a spot in right at the corner of the lapel. Now, this guy obviously did not buy this suit so that he could button that button.
Right.
He bought this suit, and what's really funny is the way he's actually wearing the suit is extremely unfashionable for most time periods. Most.
It's that so.
Yeah. He's actually wearing it. The button that you button is the middle button if you're going to button only one button. But he is buttoning specifically the bottom button.
Oh.
As opposed to the middle button. So if he were to wear this in the way that would be considered air quotes correct, if you're going to leave a button unbuttoned, you usually with like a 3-button suit, if you were to button only one button, you'd button the middle button. If you were to button it all the way up, the first button you would unbutton is the bottom button. So, if you have a 2-button suit, you button the top button, not the bottom one. It's to give your it's fashion-wise, it's to give your hips more room, because that makes the buttoning out of a 2-button suit, buttoning the top button gives you more the silhouette that you require while not constricting you when you sit down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this guy is technically, he's wearing this fucking coat all wrong. Like, I can tell by looking at him that he is a young kid.
He is a young kid that don't know how to wear his shit. Tell me, for fuck's sake, please tell me that the pockets in the suits were real.
Oh God, I have never come up against a fake pocket in men's clothing that was not a breast pocket.
Okay.
Because I have his hand in the wrong damn spot, so the only pocket that can possibly go in is his damn suit pocket, which is perfectly placed for, but that's not actually what I intended to do, so it's actually hilarious that it worked out that way. But, yeah, it better be a real goddamn pocket, because I'm going to be like, ugh.
Men's clothes, generally speaking, okay, I take that back. On a suit coat, on the coat, I've never come across anything except for a fake breast pocket for fake pockets. And usually if it's a fake breast pocket, it's got a
oh shit,
handkerchief
I need to get this put up here. Oh, hi Lumia! I knew it! I had a feeling. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have my thing off. That means I've missed something. Hi Lumia, sorry. So sorry. I'm so bad at remembering to keep that up. I apologize.
Is absolutely an appropriate spot for a pocket, and it is absolutely an appropriate pose for him to be taking.
Yup. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, this is when well, yes, hanging around smoking, but like this is absolutely when Faust is still chief of police. And the thing, it's so funny because again, like a lot of people have no fucking clue where Tara stands. They just know that the police don't arrest her and the mob doesn't fuck with her. So it's just like to see her just hanging out, smoking casually with the chief of police and his what's the subordinate to the chief? I forget. It's not vice chief. Lieutenant? Is that what it is? The person directly underneath the chief.
I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever that is, that's what Bump is to Faust.
Second in command.
Yeah, with the police chief and his second. All right, just have her hanging around casually smoking with them. Definitely, like, just has people like, all right, that's a thing that exists. That is the we're ignoring that.
Oh my gosh, Bump is gonna be so adorable in his comically oversized suit. Oh, it's gonna be so cute.
By the way,
it makes so much sense for Bump to have these comically oversized suits.
It so does. So does. What's funny is I could imagine a conversation between him and Faust at some point where Faust is like, we need to fix that. Bump's just like, fix what?
Well, and the thing is Bump would absolutely be like, fix what? Because there's nothing to fix.
Exactly.
There's nothing to fix about a comically oversized suit on a man in the 1950s. That was very fucking common. Having your suit go down to halfway down your fucking thigh was completely normal. That's just almost like mind-rending to think that guys were running around with their suits coming down to places where girls think that that's a modest skirt length.
Right?
Like, it ain't even a fucking mini skirt. It's just a short skirt. Like, oh, it's so funny. It's just so funny. Love it. It's fantastic. It's great.
That cigarette is in like the wrong spot.
Absolutely. I've got to be honest. I'm absolutely smitten with this fucking thing. Now that like there was a reason why I was trying not to get into the fucking fashion part of it. I knew that the second I got into the fashion part, I was gonna find something hilarious that I love.
Oh dear.
And wouldn't you fucking know it? I found something hilarious that I love, and it's Bump in his oversized fucking suit. Absolutely accurate for the time period for him to have these ridiculously oversized, just fucking swimming in it goddamn suit. Extra room at the top of the arm so his arm can move nice and proper. No, bro, your fucking suit looks ridiculous on you. You look tiny inside of it. You look like you're swimming. You've got your fucking skirt shirt of a fucking coat, and your fucking tie comes down to like barely comes down to your ribcage, because that's just how y'all tie your ties.
Wait a minute, you're not serious, are you? I didn't see that.
Because like, Look at where you put his waistline, okay? Look at where you put you put that line for like where his belly button would be. But his natural waist is up a couple of inches. So his pants would come up to there, which means his tie only goes down to the bottom of his ribs.
Oh, you're right. I did put his in the wrong spot cuz Faust is correctly placed for him. But Bumps.
But if you look at where you put the narrowest part of his body, it's up a couple inches on him. So that means that his fucking
so he's a
badass tie is gonna come down to barely anywhere.
Like right here. The ties don't go past. I didn't realize the ties didn't go past the pant line. That's fucking great.
Like, for it to go past the pant line would be like major fashion faux pas. Like, it should actually not touch the top of his pants, like by just a breath. Oh, it should not touch the top of his pants.
Faust's ties are fucking long as shit then, aren't they? Like, compared
to... yeah. Yeah, well, and the thing is Faust has to almost assuredly, like, get special order ties.
Absolutely.
Because Faust he is actually really long in the torso. And so in order to get a tie that's wide enough to be fashionable near the top, he's having to wear zoot suit ties.
Please explain what that is.
What's up, babe?
That's someone very magic their tie and their penis and then it becomes
What?
Like, what if somebody fairy magicked their tie and their penis and then it's two snakes fighting?
Oh my god.
Well, the good news is if it's on these kinds of 1950s outfits, they won't touch. They won't be able to reach each other. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, good. Good fucking grief. I'm sorry. I'm way too amused by all of this. I love this AU so much.
No, it's not fair. Oh, we're just giggling about this fucking AU because 1950s men's fashion is hilarious.
And they're so serious. They're taking
they're
so
serious.
So
serious. They're
but
so
it's so
serious.
funny
so
to look at. Oh man, I can't.
They are. They look so silly.
And then of course you have Faust with this fucking mean mug that never goes away really. Like that, because it's just the way his fucking face is. Like, luckily for him, I get quotation marks, luckily for him, he has no choice but to tailor his shit. But can you imagine? Oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fucking great. Don't apologize for any of this. This is great.
I'm so happy this fucking AU slapped me in the face.
Hush you.
I heard that. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did, but I heard it.
He was making, because he was still joking around about the whole fighting tie and penis thing. He's like suggesting that they'd be like two dogs chained together where they're like they can't get at each other but they're trying
really hard. Yeah,
they're just barking at each other.
Okay, we are now at the other bane of my fucking existence, and it's hats.
Oh yeah. Yeah, hats are hard, dude. You saw what I did with hats on my wizard mod.
I can do this.
You can totally. I mean, the good news is about 1950s men's fashion for the hats is they're almost always flat brimmed. They don't.
Oh my god! I got the line. Look at that! Look at that line. It's a fucking beautiful fucking line. Oh my god! I'm so happy about this one line. So happy. Oh, just cross your fingers for me, okay?
Yeah, I mean, fedoras were definitely a thing.
I didn't know for sure if I was putting him in a fedora or not, honestly. It sounds like that's exactly what I did, because I just really like the way this line went, but...
I mean, I'm trying to zoom in on this. No. Just show me the fucking picture. Fucking assholes.
Because doesn't it go about like this? Or, hold on. Yeah, it's higher in the front. I don't know why I thought it was
Yeah.
a lot higher in the back for a second.
No, it's higher in the front with the pinch point in the front.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a like the fedora style where it's the brim is lower and the crown is higher in the front. With the pinch point is like 75% of men's hats at the time.
Okay. All right. Good.
Like,
got it.
The Stetson cap. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
if I was in the 1950s, I guess I wouldn't have a problem. But if I saw someone wearing this today, I would probably just be like,
like here is the Stetson hat.
Because like he is such a serious person, and it's oh god.
Yeah.
Bump has the Stetson.
Yeah,
Bump has the Stetson.
Yeah, for sure. Well, because Faust is so fucking big. He would probably have to have custom ordered hats because he's got a big head.
The way you said that. Oh shit! Now I have to look at shoes. This one has shoes. Those are pretty run of the mill, actually. I say about the primary bane of my existence. If I had to choose between shoes and hats, I think I can draw hats better than shoes. I don't know. I draw shoes pretty good when they come out good.
Yeah. Here here's a reference for different shoe styles so that you can have a few quick.
Oh. Don't mind me. Not leg.
Getting the ouches.
Yeah.
Leg ouches.
Yeah. Yeah. Ow.
Now, in fairness, these guys
probably the monk
have something like the monk or the wingtips.
I'm trying to find the wingtips. I don't know why I can't find them for some reason. Where the fuck are they?
So if you look at the
they
thing
don't
that
say
I monk
That's
is
what
the
it
top
is.
one. The one directly
there they
below
wing. Oh, it does fucking say it, dumbass. Okay, yeah.
Directly below the blue suede is the wingtip, and then the style that says reptile doesn't have to be in reptile skin.
I was thinking either the monk or the reptile, yeah, but like you said, not the reptile skin. Now the creeper, I'm sorry, that does not look like a 1950s shoe. That looks like something that I've seen someone come up with, I think, in the 2010s or something. Like something, it's the soul of it. Like I feel like someone fucked up on that one.
Correct. That sole looks very incorrect.
Someone messed that up.
I'm pressing F to doubt. I'm also kind of pressing F to doubt on the chukka.
Why can't I find the chukka? There it is.
The
yeah, I see it.
The style on the top seems fine, but I'm pressing F to doubt on that sole. Those are not 1950 shoes. Those are current. Those are reproductions for sure.
All right, I'm just gonna go with that. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong in some form or fashion on that one, but I'm just gonna leave that alone right now. Oh, ow!
Man, that's a whole bunch of different house shoes for guys. It's crazy.
These giant ass feet.
It's crazy how many different slipper styles they had for dudes.
It is actually kind of funny. Like there was, we can giggle about it all we want, but like, fashion was definitely a better. Men had a little bit. I feel like men had more to choose from back in the day.
The thing is what they had to choose from, they had significantly more of. So, a lot of a man's style was in his shoes. His shoes, his coat, his tie. Those were the things where he could really express himself. A lot of the cut and tailoring of jackets and slacks and stuff like that was largely standardized. But shoes and hats and coats, the accessories were a lot more what you would look for as a man's style. So guys having flashy shoes was super common for more guys who were significantly more like upscale would have flashy shoes. They'd have fancy shoes, things with multiple colors, and they'd have more than one pair of shoes, and they might have a heel. They might actually have quite the heel on their shoe if they were a fancy fella. Fancy fellas could have up to like an 1.5 inch heel on their shoes instead of a single instead of just a small, 1/2 inch heel. They might have some pretty sizable heels. Fancy stitching on their shoes, and it was a point of pride that your shoes be shiny, unless your shoes were specifically not supposed to be shiny.
Like the suede.
95% of guys would go for the shiny shoes because shiny shoes caught more attention.
Yeah.
And so you'd have to go and get your shoes shined so that your shoe would be more visible, and so that you would look sharper because you wanted to look sharp. So different materials, like different crazy fucking crazy materials to have your shoes made out of. Very much different crazy colors, blues and reds instead of just browns and blacks. Yeah, totally. So like, dudes' shoes at that point were very much so like dudes wearing Jordans. Like,
I'm sorry.
You
I'm already
said
giggling.
something.
I haven't even done shit yet. All I did was put the shoulders on over bump, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this with a straight face.
It is a little bit difficult.
Like, okay, so this reminds me of when I was fucking horrible at drawing suits. Like, I didn't know how to draw suits properly. So I just drew them the way I thought they should look. And it's just giving me flashbacks to those days.
Well, and very, very seriously, like the shoulder pad, the shoulder pad going off his shoulder to try and square up his shoulder. Yeah, that was totally a thing. Like it's supposed to be a crisp point.
I forgot his thing.
Like you did on Faust. Like it having a crisp point is very important fashion-wise.
Did I put that pocket too high?
Period.
No.
Was that?
I was trying to figure out if I put Faust's chest pocket too high.
It might be a little bit high, but it's not super too high.
I'm gonna go.
He's also a fucking tall ass dude, so
yeah.
Like,
okay,
being kind of high is going to kind of happen because there he needs his.
I can do.
He's
this.
also fucking the torso, man.
Yes, he is. God, just such a huge man.
He is. He's just a big dude. Huge fucking guy.
And you know, I don't know what would be funnier, if I was honestly exaggerating how big he could get based on his pedigree, or if this is in fact 100% accurate, because guess what? This is 100% fucking accurate, bruh. Like, this isn't unnatural, okay? It's just...
Actually not. I actually knew a dude who, who was,
Oh, yeah, good point, Farrell. Yep.
What did Farrell point out?
That one of the kids probably does shoe shining.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely, positively.
Dude, can you imagine Luce doing shoe shining? That'd be adorable.
Absolutely, actually, I could.
she'd have fun.
Also, I kind of feel like Luce would probably have that same haircut and pose as a boy sometimes.
That's literally what I was thinking. Like, yeah, absolutely, she would totally do that because it's just easier that way.
You and I are sharing the brain cell right now.
We are sharing the brain. When we're done, we need to pass it over to Farrell. Like, I don't know how we acquired it. I don't know where it showed up from. We apparently have recovered the brain cell. And don't worry, Farrell. We will get it over to you as soon as I'm done with the stream. Okay, I need to straighten my ass up and get Bump's suit.
It's really hard, though, isn't it?
It really is. Like, first of all, this just goes down to here.
Now with how long these suit jackets are, can you blame them at all for having the buttons undone on the bottom?
No. I can't. I'm sorry, because I'm just looking at the one guy who's got his hand in his pocket, which is basically what Bump is doing, and it's just like he's hiking up a skirt. Like, I swear. I'm sorry, guys. This may not be that funny to everyone else, but it's just hilarious to me, and clearly Lynn. Like.
Yeah, I am entertained. I am entirely too fucking entertained.
Oh my god. They'd probably be smacking us upside the head. Like, why are you laughing at us? You know, like 1950s people. Can you imagine being transplanted to the 1950s? Like, because you look hilarious, that's why. It's like, well, you look like a fucking circus act. Like, you know, right? Because whatever we wear these days, right? Okay. Deep breaths. I can do this. What is that one guy holding? Is he holding a scarf? Is it a scarf? Or is it a pair of pants? The first men's one, like the fashion plate that you sent.
It does look like a pair of pants, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's supposed to be... I'm not sure. It's either a scarf or it's an attempt at showing him holding his overcoat.
Yeah, I mean, they failed then, because that's definitely not an overcoat.
It looks like a fucking pair of pants.
Yeah, it really does.
He's very obviously,
Okay. I can do this.
Also, I hate to point this out.
What?
But on that same one, guy in the gray suit on the bottom, what the fuck is wrong with that dude's hand?
There's a thing behind him that he's resting his hand on.
Oh yeah, no, I see that he's resting his hand on it, but like, why does he have that line on the side of his hand? I don't understand.
It's shadow. It's the shadow. It's the shadow
That's
of
a shadow?
It's the shadow of him.
It looks like instead of a hand, because his fingers are also really short. Like the tips of his fingers are crunched down because he's got his hand, but he's like, there's too much bow in his hand, and so it makes him look like his fingers are super duper short. So it makes his hand look like he's got a python attacking the thing he's leaning on instead of a hand.
It does. That it does. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying.
Hi, do you fucking mind?
No,
I didn't think you did.
His hand is probably real deep in his pocket right now. Here's his pocket. So, yeah, no, it'd be kind of like this. It would be like that. Okay. Just wearing a god fucking dress.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying my hardest to also not laugh, okay?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I can do this. I can do this. Oh. Okay. I am convinced that a new Brave Roger Rabbit, they tailored those suits. That way they didn't have to look like this. Okay. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I am good. I just needed to get this bit done. That's it. I just needed to get this bit done.
All right, I'm back.
Hi, back. I'm dying. Think I'm alright though. I got the main part done. Sort of. Okay. I'm good. I'm alright. I'm good. I got this. Maybe.
Totally not going to start busting your gut laughing again because it's so tiny in his huge suit.
Okay. I'm good. I've got this. Yup.
No giggle shits here.
Did I get his collar wrong sized? I think I did. No. Yeah. No. Wait.
No, let's see.
They had kind of sizable collars. I don't think that collar is off particularly badly. Probably be angled a little bit more on the the edge that leads back into the coat. No, not that edge. That edge was fine.
This one.
Yeah, that
So
one.
like that.
Angle that one up a little bit more. There you go.
Okay. Fucking tie.
Yeah, I can tie.
Okay. Good. I'm good. Got this.
Bump is wearing perfectly normal suit.
And of course the sleeves are too long, right? So we don't even see anything here. It's just okay. All right. And then the fucking pants, like I'm not even. No, I'm just gonna focus on this arm right now.
Oh, baby, why are you crying?
Is it a cat or a child?
Cat. Please leave the wrapping paper alone, dear.
Okay. Oh shit! I forgot his spells. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, because I thought about it and then forgot, and then thought about it again and then forgot again. It's so funny. So, I guess as early or as late, I don't know what we want to call it, as, excuse me, how old would I have been? 9-ish, maybe? So what would that have been? Somewhere, I guess, around the, yeah, like the late 90s and early 2000s, they were still making those suits with like the really broad, like squared off shoulders.
Mhm.
And like oversized and stuff like that. And I say that because there was I distinctly remember, and clearly he was from this time because he was of that age. This pastor for the church that we ascribed to at the time, he would always wear a suit, and it was always a suit that looked like this. Like, it maybe wasn't, somehow I don't think it was as long, but it was basically this kind of suit. And that just speaks volumes to like the era he came from.
Well, and there's a good chance that purposefully purchased his suits to fit him like that.
Yeah.
Regardless, because the thing is
Ow!
you can get careful.
That was a pop. That was me popping my ankle.
Wait.
Oh, give me a second. I'll be
It
right
is
back.
not difficult.
I'll be
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Hello. I see some people are saying, Donna, isn't it bedtime for you? You know what? I'd be doing a goof. I can totally look at your time on my phone. Yeah, it's like 10:30. Oh, but it's the weekend. Duh. Don't mind me. All right. Anyway, who was
She's
saying?
like, don't be putting me to bed right away.
No, it's not bedtime for me. Alright, anyway. Again, everybody, sorry if I seem to be laughing too hard at this, but it's fucking funny. Because, look, you can see, look at how big it is on his frame. Right, anyway,
Men's.
get back over here. Because I just realized his tie is kind of annoying the crap out of me, because I don't think it would be flaring that wide, right?
Actually, that's a fairly fashionable tie for the time.
Because in the fashion plate there, it looked like they had them going fairly straight down.
Well, the thing is there is, let me pull that back up. Let me look. Yeah, those are all narrow ties, but then if you look down at all the two directly below it with the vests, that's about the width that he was flaring to. Whereas the actual guys from the time had the very straight, narrow ties. So it depends entirely on how, what you feel.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know how I was so busy looking at the pants in the second pants picture you sent that I didn't even notice the freaking the tie, because you remember you were like, it's not gonna go very far past his rib cage. I didn't even see that. That picture, I was too busy looking at the pants. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, it's just that is decidedly, that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing. So I mean, he is tall, so he is wearing a more standard tie. It would be narrower, but
he's probably not wearing a standard
feeling that he's not wearing a standard tie, and so him wearing a tie that has a longer flare on it and that comes down to a wider point, than the sort of tie that Bump would be wearing. That makes perfect sense, especially being that he has kind of his own style, and that width of tie is very much so in keeping with the style that he's wearing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is you're not entirely wrong. If he was wearing a standard tie, in order to get the tip of his tie down where it should, air quotes, be, which is just above his waistband, it would be, the tie would be fairly narrow where he would be tying it. And so it would be so much further up the tie that it would have a much more narrow flare at that point. But you get the feeling that Faust is not the kind of person who would spend all the money on these suits so that he could wear suits all the time and not buy himself some custom ties that fit his length of body.
Donna's like, that's why he never unbuttons his jacket. Yeah.
It's like, no.
You're looking kind of toasty there, boss, now. I don't care.
I'm not.
I'm gonna choke on my shit.
He's just over there like, no, I'm I'm Filipino, man. I'm of swarthier nations. No, I'm not overheating because my peoples they don't overheat.
You know, we don't overheat, man.
Fuck your fault. No, I'm not taking my coat off. No. No.
Well, and another thing too is I don't know that this is going to be set in Chicago. I know that that's like generally the sort of place that like mob anything
It
is
usually is because if you have mob stuff, Chicago was a hotbed for mob activity.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to set it in Chicago or say, for example, New York at the but like I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But the point is, it's in a colder, like a leaning more towards colder climactic area, wherever this is going to be. That much I know. So very, very likely that he's comfortable not actually doing the thing. Except that he does run really hot-blooded, actually. So he's when he's in the office anyway. Let me put it this way: when he doesn't have to wear it for sure, he has the jacket off. But like for example, he is a vest wearer. Okay, so he's going to have the vest on underneath that. So like that's always there, kind of thing. In fact, I need to send you a thing. I need to send you the thing. I was going to send it and I forgot to send it. I need to send it.
No. Thingy. That thingy is kind of thing.
Don't mind me. Sorry guys, I'm just in pain.
I feel so bad that you're in pain. Like, seriously. It's just rude. I'm body. You're rude.
So
Fair.
Okay. Alright, refueling. Give me some coffee. Some chips. I need to close my peanut butter jar. Yes, I have a peanut butter jar.
Yeah, bro.
Also, for anyone who doesn't know, by the way, it was brought to my attention that I forgot to put a link to my YouTube on my Twitch links. So I did away with Facebook that I never use, and went ahead and put the YouTube link in there. So all my Twitch streams are, not all of them unfortunately, there's plenty from the past that didn't get cataloged, but all of them now are getting cataloged. Or archived, or whatever you want to say. They're getting exported to YouTube, so they will be there until the end of YouTube. So, if ever you miss a stream, or you really wish you could go back and watch it, but I'm not at the partnership level where I get 14 days of the thing hanging out, and I only have like 6 or 7 or whatever it is. It's all on YouTube, so you can go back and watch on YouTube.
On the tube of the U.
On the tube of the U. Doing me also just stretching my leg out here. I'm still just like giggling. I'm just giggling at all of it really, but also at again the whole for fuck's sake Tara's so short compared to these two.
Yo. She really is. She's just teensy tiny. She's probably not super pleased about that. She's like, how is it? I am not a short woman. And they're like, yeah, you're short.
Yeah, you're short. And she's like, bitch.
Yeah. Grabs him by that extra wide custom tie.
Listen. He's just like, listen, you have my attention. Oh man. Like, you had my attention when you walked in the door. Can I also just say how hilarious it is? Not hilarious in a ha-ha way, but still hilarious kind of in a ha-ha way about how just smoking is healthy for you. Just like,
right? Oh my
like,
goodness.
Everyone just bought it.
Yeah.
And whether they really bought it being healthy for you or not, everyone still smoked. Like, it was still a thing. There wasn't no one who didn't. Even the kids, man.
Well, and the thing that gets to me is there was a whole bunch, like the advertising and stuff like that was so very ubiquitous. Like, the reason that Camel Cigarettes has a camel as their mascot is because they thought that would, and rightly so, thought it would appeal to children.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
So that's the reason why the camel mascot is Cool Joe.
Did not know he had a name.
He's got a name, it's Cool Joe.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, he's cool. You want to be cool, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be cool. Oh man, you know what that means? That means the kids probably smoke too.
Almost assured. I mean, honestly,
man.
actually, that depends entirely on whether or not they had enough money to smoke.
That's true. That is true.
Smokes were expensive.
I don't. You know what? Probably what probably ended up happening. I would guess anyway. Because is they would pool their money together and they would, you know, pool enough to actually like buy a pack of smokes and share it. Is probably what the kids did.
What's funny is cigarettes were still slightly an adult thing, so depending on the age of the kids, are we going with their canon ages?
15. 15? The youngest is still Gus, but
they definitely might have. Okay, so one of the common practices for children, because they couldn't necessarily afford cigarettes, was to purchase the fake cigarette candy sticks.
Yeah. That's Gus.
Also, I hate to say this, but I think Bump's pants are coming out.
They might be. I'm looking at the picture right now. So the first set of pants you sent me with like the droopy ass, I was going off of that one. Where Faust kind of sort of has the second one with like the really like poofy legs because he's got big ass fucking thighs and shit, so he like needs that to actually fill him out properly. The Bump probably has that first one. So they may not be too narrow, but they might be too narrow. Like I'm staring at it right now, like very seriously.
Right now.
What I was really looking at, honestly, was to see if I accidentally dropped his crotch too low.
Oh, honey, probably
And
not.
Probably not, because I don't know if you can see where the dot is, but
no, that's
this dot right, like that's where I was kind of thinking his crotch was supposed to be based on like the way the pants are. But
that's about right.
I think it is, yeah.
It might be a little bit higher. Also, I hate to say this, but
What?
you might have kept his skirt a little too short.
No. I worked really hard on that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
I hope. Okay. All right. Fine. I will revisit it.
Because the problem is that like
so there's only one like full body guy that I can see here, like in the fashion plate. The only like good shot is the one in the brown, where at the very least you can get to the bottom of his pant leg. And I was kind of going based off that, and based off that, it wouldn't be too short. However, compared to the others, that one does look too short, actually. Like, compared to the others on that picture slide.
Because the blue one back behind, well, and thing is you kind of have to, like, those are also drawings, and they have a tendency of lengthening legs in drawings.
You're right. Oh, damn it.
So it's not unreasonable for him to have had pants, to have his coat only go down to, you know.
Another
the
thing
upper
is he
thigh
has
area.
fairly long legs, I noticed. Like for I don't know if I want to say for a guy, but like for what I have here, he has slightly longer legs than would be average for what we're looking at on his body. So that might have something to do with it. Like he's had to like have his pants let out at the bottom.
Actually, what it probably would have been is they would have had to cut them long.
Yeah. Something like
because,
that.
He. Let me go back and take another look at the. Did they have cuffs on those?
Yeah,
they've got.
They got cuffs.
Most tailored clothes, they plan on you getting the cuff set to the length of your leg.
Okay.
So, in order to have that be a thing, pants that are pre-made but intended to be tailored to your leg length, they will essentially leave extra length. They will leave what they think is the maximum length of leg that will work with that pant. And then the person who fits you for the pants will shorten it if it needs to be shortened. Now, part of the reason they have the cuffs is because a cuff, essentially, you fold the pant and then tack it in place. So you would actually take, and if the leg was significantly too long, you would just fold it differently so that the folds are different, so that it still ends up with about an inch cuff at the bottom, but you end up with more folded.
Right. Oh. Sorry, I'm zoning out.
Well, that's okay.
Because I'm looking at the pant diagram again. Because to your point, I'm trying to figure out if he doesn't have enough poof in his pants.
Yeah, because, like, a lot of those pants were really fucking loose in them thighs, man.
And there's fairly, like, here's his legs right here. There's
some space in there. But the thing is like
he doesn't have the balloon pant looking one that Faust has. He's got that that other one. And I'm just trying to figure out. I don't know. I think so because because some extra poop is going back. You know what I'm saying? Like to the back end right there versus the narrower part here. Because of the droopy butt, yeah. Fucking.
I think you got them for that second pair of pants. Yeah, I think you've got them. I think you've got them big enough. It's funny because Faust's pants are essentially, that big balloony butt one.
Mm-hmm. But like he fills them.
Fills them out, so it doesn't ever actually look like that. He just got them thighs.
He's got them thighs. Thick thighs save lives. That's why he's on the force.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, it's great. Love it. Fantastic. Let's do. I'll take 6.
Look at how big his fucking feet are.
Huge. They're and a guy who had feet that big, I can almost guarantee you, he has some of the fanciest fucking shoes. Because the thing is guys who have those great big fucking honking feet, you're gonna be able, like, he has so much space to have fancy fucking shoes. I can almost guarantee you that his shoes are ridiculously fancy.
So they are definitely not fancy enough in this picture right now. I need to, like, extra fancy this up.
I would say most likely that's fine, but most likely they are an odd color or they're an odd texture.
Now, keep in mind, he is the chief of police. Now, while he's not doing field work so much anymore, as a result of that, he is still the chief of police, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be too fancy with most of his shoes.
Honestly, for a police officer, that's pretty fucking fancy.
What he's wearing already?
What he's already wearing.
He is the chief of police. He's not just an officer, though.
Yeah.
But, please continue.
Yeah, I mean, he has got a fairly classy looking pair of shoes on, and so being once again that he's the chief of police, he's probably got a fancier material that is being used, and there's probably some decorative stitching.
Absolutely.
But since he is essentially a working man, also makes perfect sense for him to have chosen a less. This is like he's probably got a pair of dress shoes that are probably the fucking sharpest goddamn shoes you've ever fucking seen. They're like Italian leather, and they are the shiniest pieces of shit you ever fucking saw. He's like, damn it, I'm gonna have a nice pair of these fucking shoes. And then these are his work shoes, which are still pretty fancy, but they're not as fancy as his fanciest shoes.
Yeah. Oh god. Shit. Fuck.
What?
The front-facing hat.
No. Bad.
I hate this.
Front-facing hat is hard. Hard, so fucking hard. On Astroneer, and I'm currently climbing a mountain. You know how? By toddler climbing it. Run at it until I go up. And I'm going to have to go back down because I'm suffocating.
Wrong? Do I have that all kinds of wrong? Maybe not all kinds of wrong, but I got it wrong, that's for sure. Because again, can't necessarily, gotta be careful using Faust as a guide here because he's fucking monstrous.
Monster of a man.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what though, Faust and Bump ain't winning a whole lot as far as like right and proper, because I know damn good and well men didn't have long hair back then, and Bump basically says fuck you to that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I totally. Oh, and
now
I
he
can
keeps
also,
it tied back, but he keeps his hair long.
You can also absolutely see him tying it back and then putting it into a braid.
Yeah, that too. He'll do a little bit.
Especially because you're saying that he has some native in him.
Yep.
That would be absolute. I can absolutely see that. 150%.
He's also a boxer. He will put you down. Like, he is religious in his boxing.
What's really awful is part of the reason he keeps his hair long might be because some jackass chopped his hair off once.
Probably.
Because that was actually a thing that some people would do, was they would come up behind men who wore their hair long and cut their hair off.
Yeah.
Either just take a pair of scissors and try to chop it off, or, I mean, everybody had a fucking pocket knife.
Yeah.
Hold him down and saw his hair off. Which, I find to be
Can
one
you
of the
can you
most.
tell why he's a boxer now?
What's funny is because I've had people fuck with my hair, like, I've always wondered how it is that people can just walk up to, like, they have a tendency of saying, like, that you don't want to touch a black woman's hair, and all I can think is, why are you touching anyone's hair?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean, don't touch a black woman's hair? Don't touch people's hair!
Don't fucking touch people's hair, bruh.
Woman, child, like, unless you are familiar with that person, what the fuck are you doing touching a stranger's hair? Like, Emery doesn't have a problem with me touching his head.
You know Emery.
I know Emery. I am good friends with Emery. And so I have been given permission to, to do things that he would not allow other random people to do. I'm allowed to touch my husband's hair. In fact, my husband fucking loves me playing with his hair. He's my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them fuck with my hair because I have a very sensitive scalp, and so my hair getting pulled makes me yelp, and neither of them want to cause me pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have very sensitive scalp. My children learned not to pull on or tug with my hair because I don't really like it. Now, there are certain circumstances, obviously, in which that particular rule goes out the window, but only my husband does that. So, yeah. It's like, never understood why anybody needed to be told, don't touch other people's hair.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need that instruction? What on earth possessed you? Like, I still do not know why the fuck that girl in school picked out my fucking gray hairs and started, like, and pulled some of them.
Like, excuse you.
What the actual fuck is wrong with you, lady? I never understood why you would consider that okay. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you touch somebody else's hair? It's their hair.
Like, don't do that, bruh.
An actual part of their actual body.
That is not okay.
Even if it's a wig, why the fuck would you want to be messing with their wig? It's...
Mm-hmm. By the way, I need a lady's coat. When you were 10, your keyboard teacher would come up behind and ew.
That is...
Why?
I would have fucking told her off.
The
That
fuck?
noise, man. Of course, I am distinctly...
Don't fucking touch my shoulders, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't care if you don't like the way that looks. Would you not?
Pea coats were definitely a thing. Are you looking for
I was
summer,
looking for a
winter?
lady's coat.
Okay, yes. Yes, but pea coats are still a ladies' coat thing. Are you looking for
Fall?
warm weather, cold weather?
Cooler weather.
Okay.
Like, not winter, but not summer.
Okay, there are... Is she the type of woman who would have wore fur?
No.
Okay. Kinda didn't think she would be. So... There's a good...
Even in winter,
nice-
she's not going to be wearing no fur. Something like that.
Yeah, she's probably wearing wool coats. Are you looking for long coat or, like, waist length? Hip length?
Like I said, it's
There's-
fall. Probably waist length, I guess.
Okay, 'cause
I don't know.
there's...
That's a hard one, actually.
petticoats were really, really, really popular. That's where essentially it's a dress that you wear over your dress.
Right.
And this was a very all cool weather, but not necessarily frigid, freezing, freaking cold. So you've got 3 options here. The wider one in the one that I really like is the one on the left. But the wider one in the middle is a very common, like, keep your clothes nice and look nice, but don't but not like a formal. It's for keeping your clothes nice without keeping yourself looking necessarily great. I just see that one on the left.
Oh yeah, she'd wear the one
more her style. I don't see her being the loose coat kind of woman.
Nah.
Oh, who'd we lose?
We lost somebody?
It was a really fucking common, like, okay. It was a really common style. Like, here on the right, we have that same sort of style, but it's a double-breasted one with a wide lapel.
I like that one.
Yeah. I like that
one. Yep.
I see what you mean, though, with, like, the normal being the wider, like...
Yeah, well, because the reason for those
looking one
is because those gown ones don't chance wrinkling your dress.
Right.
So if you have a dress that has folds or pleats or any sort of extra fabric in the torso and in the waist, then wearing those kinds of coats gives you the warmth of essentially a cloak, but it doesn't press, because getting wrinkles in your clothes was that was something to be avoided.
Yeah.
And so, like, those kinds of coats, they would frequently wear them like this. Here, let me show you. This is 1940s, but the 1950s stuff, they would still occasionally wear, their coats that way, where they just hung it over their shoulders, especially in slightly warmer weather. They would just hang it over their shoulders like that and walk around with it on them.
Now, she would
like
probably do that, specifically when wearing that kind of, like, suit type thing.
Yeah, so if she had one of those larger coats, it would probably be one of the ones that she could just hang on her. So, like, the one with the blue lapel, that is one that she could have totally worn that way. Being that she is a grown adult woman, some of those fashionable things from the past would totally be a thing she might still do.
Yeah, like,
so
she would absolutely wear that. Like, that one that you just sent, absolutely something she would wear. In fact, it's really kind of funny that you sent that, because I kind of had that in my head. Like, not for this particular picture, although I might just do it for this picture, honestly. Yeah. But, like, I had that image in my head, actually.
It is a style that was common with the 1940s, but since she is an older adult, she is a grown adult, she might hold on to a particular thing that she enjoyed about how they would wear their coats. And it was also something where, like, you know how the guy will put his jacket around you? It was kind of harkening back to when she was young and guys used to put their coats on her, and then that was a fashion statement, and then she just kind of kept it. So she just kind of, she'd reach up and tug the coat a little bit and keep it on her shoulders and wander around with her outfit showing and this coat draped over her. And it also kind of, it definitely kind of has that that kind of time period's stamp on it.
Because she's 45 when the story starts, so this is absolutely accurate.
Yeah, like, I very much so like the fitted coat for her, but I also like the idea of if she has one of the less fitted coats, she probably doesn't actually button it up. Probably just wears it over top of her shoulders.
That is probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
For this one, actually. Yes, that.
But yeah.
One thing that I am aggravated by is the way that the ladies did their hair.
Oh, I know, their hair is so gross.
I think the one thing that she's absolutely gonna be like, fuck that with is having long hair. I think she's going to have her.
It's not necessarily out of bounds, especially for a lady as old as her. Because, and honestly, I can absolutely see her having one of the very fashionable shorter hairstyles, because there were quite a few very iconic hairstyles that were quite a bit shorter. So I'm pulling up several that are genuinely, these women had their hair short, and they are stock photos from the 1950s. So I wouldn't there's this one I don't see. This lady's making quite the face, to be completely honest. I'm gonna be fucking honest. She's making a face.
Is she now?
Oh no.
Well, that didn't come out very well.
Okay, well that didn't work. Okay, so we're gonna copy this image this away. Okay, she is making, like I said, a fucking face. There's a specific face she's making.
And I'm absolutely not putting that hair on
No, I don't but this is one of the shorter styles. Like, I'm just showing you how that short hairstyles were not out of the question.
Yeah, they were just a very particular style, and I feel like that would drive Tara insane.
A little bit.
That's more,
Search what you might actually want to have. This one I'm not even going to bother sending it to you. Actually, no, I'm going to totally send it to you because of the makeup.
Oh God.
But.
Oh, okay.
That hairstyle, I'm not real keen on that hairstyle.
Absolutely.
But not. I do like to point out the makeup style.
Yeah. And that's yes, exactly. What? Wait, what? What are you gonna say?
Oh no, just that is absolutely the kind of makeup style that was very, very popular at the time. And then
this one picture that had the dress that looked an awful lot like what you were trying to draw, is that actually a period picture, or is that a photo because I'm looking back at it again and something really screams.
No, that is absolutely a period picture.
Okay.
Look at that fucking truck behind them.
I mean, editing. My question, like, if it wasn't truly and honestly a period picture, my question would be that it was edited, actually. Something about the woman in that suddenly made me think that this was, you know, like they took a picture of them and then edited the background in, and, you know, did a filter and all that good shit.
Okay, so most likely what's going on is the picture is edited, but it was probably edited in the 1950s. Because they could do a hell of a lot more than we really think that they could.
before we get into, editing of photographs in the 1950s, I need to look up, like, women's... Look at these pictures. We don't have this one here. Women's, like, neck scarves and shit.
Okay.
So I was just about to put something there, and I'm like, wait a minute. She may not even be wearing one, honestly. I don't know, just for some reason, all of a sudden, I suddenly thought that maybe she would be wearing one, but...
Most likely, if she's got a scarf, it's probably actually a short scarf.
Yeah. Like, and it, like, wrapping it around her neck and tying it up, it would only go to, like, here or some shit.
Yeah.
I would think.
Because very frequently they did that little, bow tie at the neck.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of assumed, for some reason, that she would be a pearls lady.
Maybe. There's definitely going to be a necklace there somewhere. It just occurred to me, like, I wonder if she would have a scarf on, and I have to think about this, because this is kind of the fall area. Like, she doesn't really
wearing
need
a necklace. She almost assuredly did not wear a scarf.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah.
We might be able to completely circumvent the whole question of how you want to do her hair, because she might have been wearing a headscarf to keep her permanent from getting messed up. But if she's wearing a necklace, she's not going to be wearing a scarf.
I will find out. I'm going to work on this stuff real quick first. No, I just don't necessarily feel like she would wear pearls. Jewelry's not out of the question, but I just don't feel like she'd wear pearls.
The other option is, very frequently they would wear stone beads that were shaped much like pearls are.
That's
So,
more likely.
More like quartz and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I don't know that. I don't think I have that belt right now.
So, sending a picture of headscarf, and then sending a picture of common scarf. That's 40s, never mind.
I mean, she could definitely have one.
Yeah, fair point.
Did these skirts and stuff that were that were slim like this, did they have slits in the back or somewhere so they could move better?
It depends entirely on who was wearing the skirt. The one that I showed you does not have a split in the back, but I can imagine, especially a daywear skirt would probably absolutely have a split in a seam in the back, because it would automatically have a seam, and it'd probably be an overlapping slit in the back, but I can absolutely see it having a slit. I will still send you the 1940s scarves. They are kind of exactly the scarf that you think of when you think of scarf 1940s, essentially. Neckwear outside of jewelry had largely fallen kind of out of fashion in the 50s.
Well, it would have been more to keep her neck warm than it would have
Yeah.
been for, like, fashion, but... However, they were very big on fashion, you are correct, so...
Yeah.
It's very likely that she
Kind of
wouldn't care.
funny is higher, like, pretty much for the most part, a lot of this stuff, like, the accessories were 95% hats.
All hats. Just so many hats.
How many hats? All the fucking hats. And they're all those goofy little skull cap ones.
Lol.
Like the fucking Fascidors and though the one that I did like, I need to find that one again, was there was a picture of one of these goofy ass fucking hats that was a headscarf scarf combo.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me look at that fucking shoe again. Come here. Oh, I went too far down. Yeah, I get you on those. Absolutely.
What the hell is that one that I saw that I liked?
Back up to the
It's actually really cute. Damn it. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. It's just kind of a crazy business. I think this is actually like for the fashionable woman who doesn't want to be without the warmth of her scarf. She can and pin it to her hat when she's not wearing it as a scarf.
Okay, let me get down here and see what this is right now. Oh my god.
It is actually quite funny. I think it's actually quite funny.
It is. It actually is. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
And that's just like Tara, to not do exactly what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Just enough that at first glance you don't think anything of it, but otherwise she's got her own way of doing things.
I can very much so see her doing the either necklace and headscarf to keep her hair from getting, especially if they're in Chicago. Oh my gosh, she almost always probably wears a headscarf if they live in Chicago. Because Chicago is so windy. So it would be next to impossible to keep your hair set without wearing one of those little scarves. But the little necktie type, tied in a kind of almost bow shape neck scarf is probably appropriately anachronistic for her.
I don't know why I'm focusing so much on the line of the shoe here. It's not the place to focus on it, but I'm focusing on it.
Brain said, here, you need to look at this. Look at this fucking shoe. You know, I always have to wonder the shit my kids are on about.
Oh dear.
I can hear my son upstairs. Can you show me the burger? I need the burger. Show me the burger. Actual fuck are y'all on about? My god, man.
It's funny because another thing, because it was fairly, I'd have to sneak a peek at some of these pictures, whatever pictures I can see of their hands.
Big jewelry.
It's not the jewelry, it was the nails actually.
Really pointy.
mark another one where, sure, she might paint them, maybe, but she definitely wouldn't be letting them grow. Another thing that sort of like makes her a bit of an oddity.
Yeah, well, it would also kind of mark her as working class.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, she owns a tea shop and several apothecaries and actually works in them, so...
So, like, it totally makes sense for her to be more working class and stuff like that, but it also would be kind of a thing that would not necessarily, like, totally make sense for somebody who works with their, especially works with their hands, to keep their nails shorter. But it would definitely... There are people who would be dumb enough to make comment about how pathetic her nails were.
Oh, yeah.
And they probably would end up finding out exactly how not pathetic her fucking nails were, because short they may be, but strong they are plenty. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much so something I can see happening. And woe be it to the person who's dumb enough to do that.
Absolutely.
I don't know what my kids are on about. I don't know what my kids are on about. They're being weird.
One thing that always gets me with her nose in fucking particular is I always make it too long at first. I always have to shorten her nose. And then when it comes to the times when I forget to shorten her nose, I piss off because of course I fucking forgot that. Like, but it always, never, like almost never do I get it right the first time. Like I always, for some fucking reason. It's like, gosh darn.
Some fucking reason.
Okay, now I can actually hear him, and that's just funny.
Right?
Like, what are you doing?
That's like, sir. Sir.
Barely, but I can hear him.
Oh, shit. You know what's really great about having ordered pizza last night? You know what supper is? Pizza.
Yeah.
You wanna know what lunch was? Pizza. Oh, Pop. Oh wow, it's almost 5:30. Pubs is gonna be home soon. Yay, weekend starts. I better save that. I better actually get myself back to base. Which might take a hot second since the wind just fucking died down and I only have hey, there's the wind, Yay. Keep me going, wind. I have my power source on my shit. The power source on my rover is a windmill. And, other son just shouted something about his dick and balls. So having fun.
They're having fun.
Definitely are. Fucking crazy ass little SOBs. Really, sir? Okay. Say so. Alright. Yawns.
Arg!
Fuck are they even on about? Christ on a goddamn crutch.
Well.
I'm hearing things like butter dog and stuff like that from them, and I'm like really confused. Genuinely really confused.
How long were those coats? Damn, they really go about to their knees?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Speaking about giggling about it being basically where it started as like a men's coat, like a gentleman like put their coat over a lady's shoulders. Yeah, this looks about right if it was like, say for example, Bump's coat, but like if it was Faust's coat, she'd be swallowed whole. Like,
Right?
what if their names were like code names? I am sorry I missed that, Donna, by the way. That's the only thing that sucks about the actual Twitch portion, is it doesn't actually, like, notify me when people chat at me. I have to look and see that. My bad. Did you mean, like
Bump and Faust.
Bump and Faust and Tara had code names? They might. They might have code names for each other, let's be real.
I think she was meaning, like, could the names Bump and Faust be code names?
Nope.
Because Bump is kind of a weird name for a surname, and Faust is a very weird name for a surname.
Oh, well, Faust is not his surname. That's going to be his first name. He's going to be Faust Dracarte. I realize, okay, that Dracarte is a made-up fucking surname, and it doesn't belong to shit. I don't care. That's a surname. I'm sorry.
You know what? You know what it probably is? It is probably a bastardization of a couple of his actual family name that was originally from the Philippines, and yeah, because that sort of thing where you got these fucking weird ass.
Well, the real question would be if he has his dad's last name or his mom's last name, because his mom's Polynesian, right, and it's his dad that's Italian. So, which last name did he take? And I don't think Dracarte sounds Italian enough for it to actually be that. So it was probably mom's last name, so you're probably right. For Bump, that is a good question. I still want to keep his first name as Hieronymus, which is an abnormal name, really, to give somebody, but I still feel like that's part of why because the unfortunate part about Bump is he didn't really have a grand time growing up and so on and so forth. He was singled out, he was bullied, he was beat up. This is why he kind of turned into sort of this Leith. He looks unassuming, but like you don't just don't actually try anything, because he can down you in one shot. But that's the point, is like he had a lot of like unfortunate shit going for him as far as like that stuff is concerned. So like I feel like his name would be an immediate, like, at least at school anyway, aside from having probably longer hair, longer dark hair, maybe, if he wasn't forced to cut it short. Because what I think, and this isn't set in stone, but I think what's up with Bump is that bullied by Tara. No. I mean, I could see her bullying some people, that's for sure. Maybe. It just depends. But I think what happened with Bump is that his mom's white, and she either had an affair or straight up like wasn't married and slept with like First Nations, a native, whoever, and he doesn't know who that is. And so that right there is a problem. Like that is an immediate issue for young Bumpykins there, because either it was an obvious affair because he doesn't look quite like his proposed father, or she very clearly like wasn't married at the time. So that's an immediate issue for him. And then the concept of, obviously this wasn't a white man, right? And then mom may or may not have done him dirty with how she named him. Right? So like he had a lot not great going for him, and that's kind of why I think, another reason I should say, aside from just wanting his name to be that, I think that's another reason why it would make sense for him to have at least an odd first name, if not an odd second name, or surname. But and I had thought about, and it's not that I hadn't thought about it, I just hadn't really thought about it too much for Bump. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm so used to calling him Bump. Do you need to go? Or did she skedaddle and I didn't hear that?
They might be talking to me. I've just stepped away in a second since I'm microwaving.
Microwaving.
Were you talking to me at that end with the do I need to go at the end, or?
I was talking to you
Don?
with all of it, actually. But that's okay. Although, question
no,
mark,
I was
need
listening.
to go?
I probably am going to go because it's food time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll be back, but yeah.
I mean, I get to have her sometime today too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I will talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ugh. Yeah. In that case, I do hope everything that I said made sense. I don't know. I probably ought to change at least one element of Bump's name, whether it be his surname or his first name. I just do really like Hieronymus, especially because his nickname at that point is Hero. And I just really like that for some reason. I don't know why. Ow!
looking at something. But another thing too, like on the lines of like Snapdragon, like that's obviously not a normal like last name. And those who are aware of my fan canon real name for Terra, even that wouldn't really work. At least the surname wouldn't really work for a human AU. So for her case, it's highly likely that she is not operating with her real name in any way, shape, or form, and that it quite literally is just a false name or an alias or whatever that she uses. Bump, however, would have no reason to do that. Faust, I'm literally keeping that as Faust Chakarte because reasons. Now Bump, we would have to consider, if we weren't going to keep it Hieronymus Bump, right, we'd have to consider changing it. I would be curious I'll have to look up, some ideas for surnames, honestly, because that would be what I would want to change. And then, I don't know, Terra's technically could be Sullivan, perhaps, although it's unlikely that she would want to have something, considering what she does, like, particularly, regardless of, what people know or don't know, it's unlikely that she would have a fake name so close to her real name, aka, like, Sullivan / Snapdragon, so that's a big like, obviously it's not the same thing. One is a flower. But, like, that seems a bit close for comfort as far as similarities go anyway. So, that's definitely something that, at least for her anyway, I had definitely thought about. Do you have any suggestions for either of them? Question mark. Oh, ow, dang it. Ah. I just realized I do actually need to draw, like, her arm shit. As a just in case. Da, 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 da. Who, Bump or Terra? Or both? Terra's definitely got shit to hide, honestly, because she's not, like, American, actually, which is fair. Like, people can fairly tell that either she is, like, a first-gen immigrant, or she literally, like, came from across the pond, because she's got a British lilt to her voice. That isn't, like, a full-on accent so much, but it's definitely there. So she's definitely hiding something in that regard. Yeah. So I guess that gives me an idea of where to start for her surname. Bump, however, is American-born. So it would have to be something that, at least in the 1950s, was fairly, like, around for the most part. I'm not going to say Terra's also, like, running from any kind of law. She could be, though. Like, there'd definitely be reasons that she doesn't want her real name known.
Whoops. And Bumps, with his, actually, now that I think about it, it would depend entirely on, like, which reality we're going with. Oh, whoops. I forgot that I had the music up that whole time. Sorry, guys. Because, again, either he was born out of wedlock, and quite clearly his dad was native, or he was born from an affair, and quite clearly he doesn't belong to the guy whose name is on his birth certificate. So it really just depends entirely on what we got going there. Let me look up real quick what Hieronymus. I forgot. There's a thing with Hieronymus, and I don't remember right this minute what it is, but there's a thing with that. Yeah. Hieronymus name meaning. There's somebody named. I should probably actually look at that. There's somebody named Hieronymus Bosch. And I don't know who the fuck that is. Well, that's interesting. Apparently Hieronymus is the Latin form of the ancient Greek name, which is also Hieronymus, maybe just said a little differently, meaning with a sacred name. Cool. I don't know what to do with that. Alright, I'm gonna look up who Hieronymus Bosch is now. Maybe that will help me with some ideas. Oh, that's a painter. There we go. Okay. That would make a certain kind of sense if Mom, like, had a thing for, like, classical art or whatever and, like, really liked this guy's paintings. Or maybe she was just an art student and just happened to, like, really like these paintings or whatever. There's some weird shit going on in some of these paintings. His mama was a weird one. Good gosh. Oh my. Beware if you look that up, viewer. Careful. Looking up Hieronymus Bosch's paintings. Wow, okay. That's a trip. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Hold on. I do need to see what years was he alive. Hold on. That's a good question. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, he was alive in like in the 1400s, so that wouldn't be the case. Okay, but that would have been funny though. I wanted to fuck this guy so bad I named my son after him. Oh god. I mean, you know, you're not wrong though. Like, there's plenty of people that have them feelings. No, I get it, but the actual painter, and it would be really hard pressed to find another painter named Hieronymus Bosch in the
1200s. What are we in 50s? 1910s or 1920s or whatever. Because the actual, like, legit historical painter was alive in the 1400s. Like 1450, I think, is when it said that he was born. So yeah, unlikely. I am probably done with this for the moment. Just like for the moment though. I got other stuff that I gotta work on here very shortly. I'm probably gonna go ahead and end the stream actually. So with that said, thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you all found it as funny as we did. You didn't get to see the things that I was looking at, but I just... Anyway, either way, I think they came out looking really good, honestly. So it'll be fun to line this later. But definitely came out looking good. Essentially, it's for a new AU because I can't stop apparently, and it is mobs versus the law. Because absolutely, Mafia's going down. But anyway, like I said, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for watching later, for anyone who wasn't able to join in live or whatnot. And yeah, I will see y'all next time. Bye!